Hello everyone, it's the FarmSIm guy here, hope you're all doing well. I am very excited to be able to bring you an early preview of the new Horsh pack that is coming out next Tuesday, the latest DLC in the Year 2 Season Pass. And we're going to have a look at all 14 new pieces of equipment here. I have also done a short video doing a map tour of the new map that comes with the pack as well, so be sure and check that out. I'll pop a link up there in the top corner now, and I'll also include it in the description as well. So let's jump in, let's have a look at these all new pieces of equipment. And I think it's worth noting that there's a lot of different conversations going around, but this isn't a remake of the FS19 pack. This is 14 completely new pieces of equipment. And the detail and the quality of them is really, really good, as you've come to expect from the Giants mods that they put in their DLCs. They are really nicely finished. Now, I get it that not all these packs are everybody's cup of tea, and the hay and forage pack, for example, the last one, definitely not something that I would use a lot of, but that's one thing, but you can't deny that the mods are put together very, very well and are very, very good quality. This, however, is something I can absolutely see me using quite a lot of. There's some really good machinery in here for big farms and for medium-sized farms as well. Particularly the weeder in this pack is huge. I've not seen one as big as that before, so I can see that having a lot of potential. But let's have a little bit of a look round all of the pieces of equipment now. I've thrown one of the things on the Fendt here. The Fendt does not come in the pack, just for clarity. But just to look at the detail and the finish on some of these pieces, there's a lot of movable parts in these as well. We'll demo that in a little while when we're running these in the field, just to show you what they look like. But they are really nicely finished pieces of equipment. And they look really, really good. So you've got some cultivators, you've got seeding applications on these as well. So you can see this, we've got a bit of a cultivator thing going on here, but you can actually seed with this as well. And you've got this additional hopper tank on the front. You've got the pipes that run from front to back as well, which is nicely done. You've got a weeder here. We've got another cultivator here. There we go. Yeah, another cultivator. A very small seeder, 3-meter seeder, but with a really large capacity. Bigger seeders, lots of bigger seeders, a little bigger cultivators here as well. There's that big weeder that I was talking about as well. So what we're going to do, we'll jump in, we'll have a look at all of these one after the other, check each piece of kit out, and then we'll run a little bit in the field so you can see it in action as well. So let's jump in and have a look at them all. So let's start with the Cultro 9 TC. This is a mulcher, £35,000, euros, dollars, whatever your currency of choice is. So let's go in and have a look at what we've got in the way of options. Additional weight? No. Or yes. And you can see that appearing in the middle there. That is your only option. 3.5 tons, 240 horsepower required to run this. 8.9 meters width, and you can run it at 11 miles an hour. But very nice detailed mod. So here we are. We have got the Cultro 9 on the back of the Fendt here. We've got our stubble field here that has been harvested. We're just going to unfold this. There we go. Nice animations. I'm going to drop this down and we're going to run it. There you go. Next up, we have the Cultro 12. This is £78,000, dollars or euros in its base setup. You can see there much wider, 12.2 meters wide. Still runs at 11 miles an hour. It needs 270 horsepower to run. It comes in at 8 tons. We do have a couple of options here. We've got Trelleborg tyres, and we have Michelin tyres, and BKT tyres. Redstein tyres, and back to Trelleborg. No options in the wheel setup, although it does sit there in the items, so I'm not sure exactly why that's there, but it is. And in terms of design, we've got design 1, we've got design 2, an extra £1,000 there, and back to design 1, so 2 options there. And that is your lot for the Cultro 12. Here it is in the field. Let's get it unfolded. You can see the animations and how it works. Okay, lower it down, and off we go. Next up, we have got the Finer 6 SL. This is a shallow cultivator and can also be used as a seeder as well. So let's jump in and have a look at this. This is really nice. I just like the way that this is finished. Lots and lots of detail on it. You've got a few options here as well. A seeder unit, no or yes. I think we'll take it with a seeder option actually. We're on design 5 here, which is £10,000 more. Design 6, and you can see the differences here. Design 7, Design 1, Design 2, Design 3, put some wheels on the front there, Design 4, and Design 5. Lots and lots of options with this one. I do like this one. Bit of a fan of this one. 39,000 with all the options, £39,000, 220 horsepower to run, 6 meters wide, runs at 9 miles an hour, and comes in at 3.6 tons. Now as we load this up, you'll see I'm loading up the Horsch Partner 1600 FT as well, because you have no means of retaining seed at the back here, so you have to have this as your seed hopper at the front. So let's jump in, have a quick look at that as well. So there you go, the Partner 1600 FT holds 1600 litres, obviously, 700 kilograms in weight, 19,500 pounds. Configuration standard. Tyre roller, which puts the tyres on the bottom, which adds another 2,500 at the price. Roll packer as well. You can have that. Or back to standard. You can also add an additional weight as well, which sits behind the 3-point linkage there. And that can go up 60, 120, 180, 240, 300, 360, and nothing again. Very nice. It's just the detail on this is nice. I like the mesh there, like the wires. It's nicely put together. So back in our freshly harvested field, let's see if we can direct drill with this as well. So power it up, lower things down, and we shall roll away. We've got wheat in here, so let's see. It's certainly ticking down, so all the omens are good here. Let's just jump out and check. I think I know the answer though. Wheat growing. There we go. Next up, we have the Tiger 8 MT. This is cultivator, £78,000 for this. Let's open this up. This is a beast. This is a biggie. 440 horsepower to run the 7.5 meters at 9 miles an hour and weighs 10.4 tons. Now, this has a few extras on it. It has a fertilizer distribution unit, which adds, similar to the seeding one that we've just seen on the Finer there. Yes and no for that, and a top ring roller, which adds on that roller unit at the back there. There we go. very nicely done. Look at all the detail of the pipes and the hoses and everything going through that. It really is very nice. These are very nicely put together mods, I do have to say. So here it is. Let's get it unfolded. Again, really like the animation on this. Nicely done. It is a big beast. There we go. Lots of moving parts there. Let's lower it down to the ground. And off we go. Now, look at the detail here of these moving parts. Spring-loaded moving parts. Very nice indeed. I like that. Next up, we have got the Joker 8 RT, £82,000. This is a disc harrow, shallow cultivation of fields. There we go. Again, another biggie here. 8.2 meters at 11 miles an hour. It needs 330 horsepower to run. It is a biggie. Options, equipment standard with a seeder unit on it, a slurry distributor on it. That's interesting. Or a seeder unit and slurry distributor. And back to standard. So we have got Joker 8 here with the seed option on it. We're going to get this unfolded, so I'll let you see what it's like. Looks very similar to the one we've just used as well. Drop that down. It will be direct drill because it is a cultivator, but we have got seed in here as well. Let me just pull up the HUD so you can see it. We've got grass seed in there now. So it only does oil seed, radish and grass, but lower it down and away we go. Now, it would have been wrong of me not to take a look at the slurry applicator version of this as well. So, let me just go in and show you what is compatible with this. So the easiest way to do it is click on the Joker 8 RT here and click on combinations, and it will show you here that you've got the Vervet and the Ploger as two options there for it. So, we've got one full of slurry. Let's give it a go. So in essence, we've got a 3-point hitch on the back of this. The tank full of slurry. Let's connect it up and look at that. We get a nice animated hose moving over to it as well. So let's get this unfolded. You can see the difference with the green hoses at the front, but to all intents and purposes it's the same model that we just used that had the seeder tank on it. So same again. Let's power it up. There we go. They have got to power both things up, the vehicle and the cultivator at the back as well. Lower it down. There we go, we're applying slurry, as you can see in the mini-map as well. And we are cultivating, so killing two birds with one stone. Nice alternative solution for it. Very nice indeed, I like that. Next up, we have the Taro 6 SL coming in at £50,000. 2.8 tons, 200 horsepower to run, and 6 meters at 12 miles an hour. This is a seeder. This is not direct drill, as far as I can tell. So you've got a couple of options here. The Rollflex Packer and the Trapezoidal Ring Roller, which looks really nice, actually. I like that a lot. We've got track loosening tines as well, which run behind the tyres and loosen the soil again, which is quite a nice little touch. And you've got two options for the seeder as well. Look, you've got a split level one there, or you can have it all coming from the same central location. I like this one. It's a good looking seeder, this. Again, lovely hoses and pipe work there. Very nice indeed. So here we are, like I said, not a direct drill this one. So you have to have prepared your field first and foremost, but we'll turn it on. We'll lower it down again in partnership with the partner 1600. You need that to hold your seed because there is no capacity to hold the seed in the seeder at the back. But let's roll forward, and there we go. We are seeding. Next up, we've got the Pronto 3. Now, this is a seeder again, but you can direct seed with this. So, £65,000, holds between 2,800 and 4,000 litres, 3.2 tonnes, and 3 metre working width at 11 miles an hour. Only needs 150 horsepower to run this one as well. So, although it looks big, you can run it on a pretty decent size tractor. Now, look at the 4,000 litre tank. How massive is that? Brilliant. So there's your two options, the 4,000 litre tank or the 2,800 tank. Wheel setup, standard. We've got a small tyre roller at the front, tyre roller full width and back to standard, and ridge markers, you can apply those to the side as well. So let's give this a whirl. So here we are in the field. It looks very nice, this, doesn't it? Let's unfold it. There we go. Lower it down. Turn it on. Nice noises. And there we go. 3 meters only. So it's pretty narrow. But I like it. Next up after the Pronto 3 is the Pronto 6. This is £106,000, 3.5 tonnes, 8.9 metre working width, so a lot bigger than the Pronto 3, and you can run it at 11 miles an hour. Let's jump in and have a look at this. So there we go. To all intents and purposes, very similar to the Pronto 3, but with 2 extra wings on it, pushing it up to 6 metres wide. We have got different tank setups, so we've got seeds 4,000, seeds 4,400, has that extra little tank on the front there, which is quite nice. Seeds 5,000, seeds 5,400, seeds 2,000, fertilizer 3,000, seeds 2,400 and fertilizer 3,000, and back to seeds 4,000. We've got a tyre roller on the front, yes or no. Row control, which adds things at the back. I can't work out. Oh, there we go. Slightly different setup at the back. I don't know exactly what that is or does, but it looks good. And your ridge markers, should you want them. Let's give this a whirl. Now, as with the Pronto 3, direct drilling is possible with this, so let's get it unfolded. We shall power it up and give it a whirl. There we go again, lovely animations. Off it goes. Next up after the Pronto 6 is the Avatar 12.25 ST, £195,000. This needs 240 horsepower to run, comes in at 3.5 tonnes. It's got an 8.9 metre working width at 11 miles an hour. So there we go, this is the big boy. Very much like the Pronto 6 and 3 direct drill. You've got options on the top here, seeds and fertilizer options with various different volumes in them. There we go, just the two. And then wheel brands, Trelleborg, Michelin standard or wide, Continental standard or wide, Redstein standard or wide, back to Trelleborg standard or wide again. Seeder unit, design 1 or design 2, and back to design 1. So you've got a few options there. This is a big beast. Let's give it a run. Right, here we are. Let's get it unfolded again so you can see the animations, which are very nice. We have got the combo here of fertilizer and seed in the tanks with this one. You can see what they are like. But there we go. Drop it down. We shall power this up. The sounds are nice. I like the sounds. Drop it down. And off we go. We are seeding. You see the seed counting down. You can see the fertilizer counting down. All is working. Next up, we have got the first of 2 planters. This is the Maestro 975RX, £65,000. Holds 630 litres within here, 2.4 tonnes. You need 170 horsepower to run it. It's got a 6 metre working width at 9 miles an hour. Let's have a look at the options you get with it. Fertilizer distribution unit, yes or no. Track loosening tines, I think we've seen those before. Those get dragged behind the tyres to avoid compaction. And ridge markers, so just a few little options with this one. Right, here we are in the field. As with some of those earlier seeders as well, this is not a direct drill, so you do have to cultivate or plough your ground before you start. Now, because we have the fertilizer extra on the back, we have put 630 litres of seed, corn seed, in the back, and we have used the partner tank at the front for solid fertilizer. So it just goes to show how versatile that front tank is as well. So all we need to do now is spin this up, lower it down, and off we go. Next up, we've got the Maestro 24.50S V208,000, the most expensive piece of equipment in the pack. This is a big planter. So 350 horsepower required to run it. Will hold 9,000 litres of product split between bulk fertilizer and seed. 15.4 tonnes, 12 metres, and runs at 7 miles an hour. In terms of options, we only have wheel options, and they are Trelleborg standard and wide, narrow twins, back to standard, Michelin standard, wide tyres, and back to standard, Continentals standard, wide tyres, and back to standard, Mitas standard and wide tyres, Redstein standard and wide tyres, and back to Trelleborg. So really Trelleborg, the only one with the alternative option of narrow twin wheels. But it's a beast. It is a big old machine, this. I like it. Right, here we are in the field. As with the previous planter, this is not a direct drill planter, so you will have to prepare with cultivator or ploughing the field before you start. But let's unfold it. Nice animation. Let's get it ready. We'll turn everything on. And we'll go and plant some corn. There we go. Our penultimate piece of equipment in the pack is the Cura 24ST. This comes in at £85,000, weighs 8.7 tonnes. You need 200 horsepower to run it, and it has a whopping width of 24.5 metres and runs at 7 miles an hour. This is a massive weeder, and I, for one, am quite excited about this one. I could see me using this quite a lot on some of the bigger fields, on some of the bigger maps. So let's jump in and have a quick look at what we've got. There we go. It is a big old beast. Looking really, really good. The only thing we've got here are wheel options. So Trelleborg wheel setup standard is greyed out. So we're just getting Trelleborg, Michelin, BKT, Redstein, and back to Trelleborg. That is your lot. So let's throw it in a field and see what happens. Right, here we are on an appropriate field of corn with a few weeds in it. Well, quite a lot of weeds in it, in fact. Let's get it unfolded. Check out how big this is. It's great. I did have the luxury of playing with this at FarmCon for a little while. And very much enjoyed it. There we go. I'm not sure we've got a weeder as big as this in the game. If we have, I've certainly not played with it. But there we go. And it's just a case of lowering it down, and away you go. Look at that. Covering some serious ground very, very quickly. I like it. Last but by no means least, the Transformer 12 VF. This is a hoe, £95,000. It needs 250 horsepower to run, 3.5 tonnes. It is 12 metres, so it's good width as well. It runs at 7 miles an hour. Let's jump in. 0 configurations on this one, but look at the detail in there. Very, very nicely done. And there is something I like about this, which we'll show you just now. Just a nice little feature which I really, really like. So let's jump into a field and have a play with it. Right, so here we are. We're aligning with the crop. Now I'm going to park slightly off center. Let's see if we can not get perfectly aligned with the crops. That looks quite good. Looks like we're over them. Now if I unfold this, what happens? Get it fully unfolded. It has a very nice feature where it adjusts to where the crops are. So if I lower this down now, there we go. Look at the way it's shifted over to the left there to make sure it matched the crops, and it's done it again. Because I was at an angle, it did again, and you actually get perfect gaps in between your crops. Very nice. Now if I cross over a lane, it moves again for me. And it keeps going until it can't go any further, and then it'll reset the other way. It's really clever. I like that. It's a nice touch. Not seen that before, have we? So pleased to see something a little bit quirky in game, and I like it attached to this mod. Very nice. So folks, there you go. That is the Horsh DLC that's coming out on Tuesday next week. It also includes the map Nesmost, which I have also done a video on. So 14 pieces of equipment of very high quality, plus a map for $8.99, €8.99 is pretty good in my eyes. I am quite impressed with this pack, and I can certainly see myself using quite a few elements out of this one actually. It's nice to see some bigger machinery now. We have had quite a lot of small machinery over the last little while, and it's nice to see something that isn't bales or hay related as well. So I really like this pack. I'm quite taken with it, I have to say. Now, if you do want to pick this up, you can save yourself 10% up until Monday night at midnight. So don't forget to put in the code FARMSIMGUY if you want to support the channel, but of course, that's your prerogative. If you don't want to support me, please make sure that you put another content creator's code in and support the people that you want to support. So there you go. This is a pretty cool pack. I love it. So from me for now, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again very soon. Bye for now.